Last Simchat Torah, October 7th. On that morning, we received many messages. It was not a normal morning. And they said, "Rabbis, you're going to cancel Simchat Torah tonight, right?" You remember what we did? We didn't only not cancel, but we took the Torahs behind us out of that ark, and we went outside. We went onto Holmby Avenue, and we sang Torah, Torah, and we sang Am Yisrael Chai. From that moment, we have not stopped. As we learned of the over 250 hostages that are to my right, not one Shabbat has gone by without paying respects to their presence by recognizing their absence, first in the pews before us, and since last week, photos next to us. For so many in the world, this banner is just photos, a collage of names and people. But for a moment, we want to share how we at Sinai Temple will dance again on this upcoming Simchat Torah. As part of a global project to unite the Jewish world and honor the memory of those souls lost on October 7th, called the Simchat Torah Project, Sinai Temple has commissioned 2 Torah covers that we will use for the first time on this Simchat Torah, so that we as a community will dance through our tears. As part of this Simchat Torah October 7th project, we hold all who died and have connections to this community in our heart. And tonight we publicly honor the lives of 2 people for which the date October 7th itself completely changed their journeys. One that was murdered on October 7th, and the other taken captive on October 7th. The lives of Raviv of blessed memory, and Amiram Cooper, relatives of our own Sinai Temple members, Stacy Sharf and Rona Passman. Amiram Cooper, if you look to my right, it's 3 up and 7 over. Amiram was one of the founders of Kibbutz Nir Oz on the border of Gaza. He loved community and agriculture. He loved to celebrate his favorite holiday. It wasn't Yom Kippur, it was Shavuot, because it's Chag HaBikurim, it's the festival of the first fruits. Amiram was a poet, he was a musician, he wrote original poems, and he composed beautiful melodies to prayers like V'hi Sha'amda, which the cantor sang his melody while he was in captivity this past Passover. I tell you Amiram's story of all these photos here because Amiram's niece is also here, Sinai Temple member Rona Passman. We've celebrated Simcha with her son, Bar Mitzvah in Cone Chapel, just 2 years ago. Rona sends her children to Sinai Akiba Academy. And from the day that we heard that Amiram was held captive, we have kept Amiram's name alive. We have told his story, and we rallied for his return. We had a seat for Amiram at our Seder table, and we sang those songs from the Bima. And Amiram's great niece, who is also here this evening, a student at Sinai Akiba, for her 5th grade project of My Family Story, told the story of her great uncle Amiram. Not only did she tell it, but she was one of the international winners, and her project was displayed at the Anu Museum in Tel Aviv. And it was on that day that she was announced as a winner that we also found out from the IDF that Amiram was murdered in Gaza. To this day, Amiram's body has not returned, and yet every single day, we keep his name alive.
Raviv was 27 years old, who was planning to become engaged to Nirel Zini, age 31, when Hamas terrorists stormed into their home on October 7th in Kfar Aza. At 10:04 a.m. on that day, Nirel sent his family his last message. "I'll update. They're here. I'm putting the phone down. Pray." Niv and Nirel met while in the army and decided to start their life in the quiet paradise of Kfar Aza. Nirel is planning to propose to Niv on October 10th and to be married this year on October 10th, 2024. The ring was found in the burnt home on their kibbutz. Instead of celebrating their engagements, their families attended their funerals. They were buried together. I'm telling you this story because Niv is the cousin of Sinai Temple member Stacy Scharf, who is here this evening. Niv grew up in Netanya, the middle child to her parents, Tammy and Yoel, and sister to Gil and Shir. And yes, on this Kol Nidre, on this Yom Kippur, we will keep her name alive. Over this past year, Niv's mother, Tammy, created the Niv Nirel Center, a new holistic trauma rehabilitation center delivering gold standard therapy. It's this center that keeps her name alive. Our friends here at Sinai Temple, with each and every one of you, every single day of this past year, we've done our very best to keep their names alive, and we won't stop.
Tomorrow night, we will conclude the High Holy Days, but this will only be the beginning of our sacred work ahead. And so on this Simchat Torah, October 24th, Thursday evening, to conclude our High Holy Day season, we will dance again. But honestly, we never stopped. We will again take the Torah into the streets. But this year, we will dance with those two new Torah covers, one in memory of Amiram, the other one in memory of Niv.
On these scrolls are inscribed the words from Kohelet, the book that we'll read on Sukkot. There's a time to mourn, and there's a time to dance. And at that moment, we will do both. It's hard to imagine that when we stood here a year ago that a banner like this would possibly exist. Yet, as the prophet Isaiah teaches us, that only with our faith, even the tired will be able to run again. And so that's what we will do as a community. We will spend the next 25 hours of Yom Kippur together to remind us how much we need each other. And then on Simchat Torah, we will be reminded again that we are an Am Echad, Lev Echad. We are one people with one heart. We hope you will join us because we know we must dance again. Gemar Chatima Tova. May we all be inscribed and sealed in the book of life. Amen.